Hippies. 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 2-10, probă. Bună ziua, bună seara, bine v-am găsit. Imediat vom începe workshop-ul. Așteptăm 2 minute pentru configurarea online și după aia o luăm pe limba engleză. Puteți veni mai în față, să fim mai aproape, ne vedem mai bine, ne auzim mai bine, fără frică. L'ho și lui deja că este pe pagina noastră. Aici nu merge. Asta e pe ce? E actualizare. Okay, let's start it. Hello, dear guest. I am Mihai Tivadar from the Romanian rock band Dirty Shirt, and I'm really pleased to welcome you to East European Rock Alliance workshop entitled Do-It-Yourself Strategies and Tools for Young and Emerging Bands. As the content for today will be really, really dense, I propose you to start directly with the workshop, which will follow this plan. After a brief introduction, we will present the strategies for bands from local going international. There is a second part which is focused on band management. It will be maybe the biggest part of this workshop. After a well-deserved coffee break or a beer break, if you prefer, we will present the tools for touring bands, and we will finish with a part about communication and promotion. Can you please stop the music? And now I present our guest speakers. We have from Poland Bartek and Piotr, which represents Doku, our partner from Poland. Also, they are production manager and booker for Poland Rock, one of the biggest music festival in Europe. And we have our good friend Bartosz Kuźnicki, also known as Hippies, from Litka Grubasa, one of the biggest rock band in Poland. From Slovakia, we have Dominika and Martin from Helenine Oči and Agile Management. They are here. They were really, really ill this week. 2 days ago, we didn't know if they come to the project or not. They are here, but they couldn't prepare their presentation. So for their topic, me and Hippies, we will do it instead of them. And from Romania, we have the dream team from Dirty Shirt with Robert Rus, Cristian Bălănean, and Adriano Ritescu. We will have also Ramona Graham from Pre-Music Events and Bilet.ro, Ela Negrescu from Chic Age Management, and Sorin Enuș, who is the representative of Creative Europe in Romania. Just a brief introduction about East European Rock Alliance project. It's an international cultural project between 3 countries, Romania, Slovakia, and Poland, which are representative from each country, and which is financed by Creative Europe program in the section Small Cooperation Projects. There are many activities scheduled in this project. We start today with the international workshop. Will be followed by international tour with concerts in Romania, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Poland. In Romania, we'll start tomorrow with Bucharest, then followed by Brașov and Cluj-Napoca. We will have a final festival, EERA Festival in Bucharest. It will be in 13 October, 1st November, here at Arenele Romane. Also, we have 2 associated festivals in this project. It's Hellfest from Slovakia, the festival organized by Helenine Oči, and one festival to be announced in Poland. Suspense. And we will open in April a Young Talent Contest, which will be a really interesting opportunity for young bands. We will make also a professional database that will include geolocated information about venues, festivals, etc., and an artist portal which is meant to facilitate exchanges between bands. And of course, we have some sponsors and partners that helped us, especially for the contest for the young bands, with a lot of nice prizes. Okay, so after this brief introduction, let's go directly with the first part, which is focused on the strategies for bands. There are 2 presentations. The first one is Hippies, who will talk about setting the foundation with his experience as leader of Litka Grubasa from Poland. Then together we will present how to develop from local to the national scene. And finally, on this part, I will present the international touring strategies. So I invite Hippies. Do you want this one? Or?
Yeah, of course. Hello, everybody. Welcome all young and emerging artists. Mika had the easy part, introduction, so I guess it's now the first serious part that I must do. Please forgive if I will say anything not properly in English, because it was a long time that I didn't use it for a long period. All right, guys. I guess this is also the most obvious part, which every band should take right from the beginning. What do I want to do with all that playing, that touring, that making gigs, etc. It is also the most frequently not asked questions to yourselves, because you should do it, and usually no one does. So I don't know why it happens, but also our band didn't take this question for 10 years, and we are standing right into the same place. As soon as we set our goals properly, the band went forward, which the greatest example is here, because I'm sitting in Bucharest and speaking in English to the audience, which I have never foreseen. If someone would told me it will happen, I would kill him with laughs. All right, so setting the goals. What are the band objectives? I guess we'll move to it in a few seconds, and we'll know what it's all about. We will speak some about the psychological qualities you do need, what you can expect, what trouble will appear if you are moving forward. Also, we will bother about artistic honesty, because I guess it's important if you are hitting the charts, if you are making money. You must always keep your honesty because it's not easy to fool people, especially in rock music. Of course, it's everything about financial investment because it's, well, we must say quite expensive hobby. And the last, we shall talk about do-it-yourself attitude because it's most important to be independent. I guess every band that is playing at EERA project is as independent as it is possible in nowadays. Okay, so can I stand up?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, we shall see with the wire.
No, it's a wireless.
Oh, if you have a wireless, I will use. Oh,
The pointer?
now it's more suitable for me because I'm a singer, you know. Okay, you know what? Every band should ask itself, what is my goal? Am I playing just to have fun, you know, just to grab with the guys some drinks and have a lot of joy? Or is it serious and we want to fulfill some dreams and work hard to pass the amateur level? So you don't know, if you are making just for fun, you don't need strategy, you don't need to define your music. You can say what you want, you can offend anyone you wish for because it doesn't matter. You have more time for you and a family, you have pure fun, but you cannot expect anything big will happen as perhaps you are so lucky that it may appear, but it's really not often happening. But if you want some big dreams, if you want to hit the really big stage, you must take into custody that it's a great investment of time. You need at least some talent, not always, but usually. And of course, it may cost you a lot of money at the beginning. Of course, there's no guarantee that you will expel the success. There's an enormous competition because there are really many bands and like you say in the jokes, when you think you can play, you can turn on YouTube and see that there is 12-year-old Chinese who plays 10 times better than you. It's a lot of work, but also it's a great fun that comes from it, but it's still a work. And of course, the reward is great because when you finally go up, you can expect a really nice thing. And of course, you must consider that it takes a lot of aspects because playing is only one of them. If you go to the big stage, you must be an accountant, you must be a PR manager, you must have a lot of ideas how to deal with merchandise, and we will speak of anything later. Okay, move on. That is my favorite sentence that every band always speaks of. It's music will defend by itself and I will not be a commercial traitor. Every rock and roll band once in their lifetime says something like this. It's not true. Because, of course, if you are really lucky, it may come true that music will defend by itself, but if you do nothing, if you're just sitting on your ass and expecting a call from, I don't know, God or anyone else, it won't happen. So it's really nice to ask yourself, do I want to do something with it? Or am I just playing and waiting for the something to appear from above? And as a commercial attitude, commercial is always a dirty word. Every rock musician thinks, commercial, no, I will play shit, I will play love songs instead of real heavy metal. So let's put this apart. Commercial doesn't mean poor things. It's completely different. We will say it later. So, as I said, no one gives a damn that you want to be honest with yourself from the basics. People want cool, good-sounding stuff. They want bands that are attractive and can draw the people's attention. Greatest bands in the world become famous after they took something with marketing. My favorite example is Nirvana. Everyone thinks that Nirvana was a band that emerged from the basement. Suddenly, it became the famous band because everyone loved their music. It's not true. And if you will read their, bio, you may found that Smells Like Teen Spirit was the most promoted video clip in MTV's history at the beginnings. They recorded their record Nevermind in studio, and Dave Grohl which wasn't their drummer these times, just was passing back through the corridor. He worked at that studio. He heard the music, entered and said, "Oh, it's really cool, but we must re-record it completely because it's not commercial." Of course, there was a fight. Nirvana fired their current drummer and hired Grohl, who produced this album from the start. And it became famous because there was a lot of money put on the marketing, etc. So it's not true that underground bands emerge all by itself. Sometimes, of course, but usually not. Okay, just as I said, it is also possible to reconcile honesty with profit, because commercial doesn't mean automatically that you are playing shit. It's always set apart. And of course, it's very important. You must ask yourself, put yourself into a place of a recipient, of an audience. Would I listen to my music as it was playing by someone else? It's always, you know, every musician thinks that their songs, their music is the best in the world. But what about the audience? Do they think the same? So these are the questions, very basic and obvious question that every musician should think about and ask themselves. Okay. Now, we have two ways. We can be amateur or semi-pro. We can be a professional. And of course, as we said previously, if you are an amateur, you can move freely, you can do anything you want. It's an adventure, you have the separate life. Because if you are a pro musician, it becomes joint. The work and music is joining like pieces of a puzzle, let's say. You must help me, at least with the, you know, singing. Okay, you can drink, you can make stupid things, you can talk bad words, we just said about it. And of course, you can quit anytime. If you have enough of playing, enough of taking tours, you can always quit, go to your home and call your friends and say, okay, no matter, we don't play no more. If you are a professional musician, you must consider everything partially as work, because playing is no more only fun, but it's your job, so it takes a lot of you. You must look at finances, because you cannot quit anytime you wish, because you must live with something, with some fee. And sooner or later, you must think about selling your product, because professional musician cannot be the whole life only an amateur. That is also what separates professional from amateur. No one wants to talk about it, but the money is always important if you become a pro musician. And of course, it comes with labeling your music. You must put it on YouTube, you must put it on streaming, you must bother about you know, how many clicks you have, etc. So it's good to know that these things also come when you are passing the amateur level. All right. It is always the thing that musicians think of. Should I be independent, or should I go to some label? And you know, when I'm editing my music, should it go through only my channels of distributing, or should we go to the label that will help us? So, if you are labeled, label can move you forward, because label, of course, has strong contacts in the music industry and own channels of promotion. But if you are independent, it gives you artistic freedom, marketing freedom. You can do all by yourself, but also you must do everything by yourself. So there are, of course, pros and cons of it. It's also the question who you want to be. Do you want to be a mainstream musician or underground? It's good to define it, because when you are in mainstream, you must take a lot more commercial approach to it. You must bow to the target, so you must consider what is trendy. You must think about the whole wider audience, because you cannot play only, I don't know, Nazi skinhead black metal. It won't become famous anytime. Of course, underground means freedom, but it's always a smaller audience. So it's very important to decide if you are taking your music into underground, or do you want to be a mainstream guy, because there are two absolutely different approaches. And of course, commercial or rebel approach it's also important because if you want to be a rebel, do not expect to sell your music to the wider audience. I guess it's obvious, but also very often bands play really hardcore music and they are surprised why it does not sell widely. Of course, there is always a hook, because there are some bands that are really terribly rebel and they have terrible lyrics that are not politically correct, and they do the sell. So it's not also so obvious as it appears. All right, long-term motivation. That is also something that pro musician must consider, because being professional, it's no something that will happen quickly. It's always very long road. I guess we took 15 or 17 years of playing until we understood some things. So it's kind of hard, to deal with it if you have a private life, if you have families, if you have children. So it's always good to remember that it takes a lot of, how to say, Bartek, are you there? Piotrek, jak powiedzieć wyrzeczenia? You must give up a lot of things if you want to. Sacrifices. Exactly. So you must be ready for the sacrifices if you want to be a pro musician. Sometimes it takes decades. Of course, there is no guarantee of success, because there's a lot of bands that are playing for 40 years and they have no successes at all. This is one important thing. So there is one no golden method, because always I speak with other bands in Poland. They always ask me, come on, tell me, what did you do to become, I don't know, famous, etc. And I said, nothing and everything at the same time, because there's no golden rule that you, I don't know, walk into that radio that will play you and next day you are famous. It doesn't happen. So you must take a lot of things into custody so they may profit in the future. There is always investment, and of course there cannot be a profit. And step by step is the best solution, because if you are taking care of things, multiply. If you are thinking about good music, good image, good merchandise, being sociable, being present on social media, taking care of promotion, taking care of PR, it may become true that every brick will build a wall. Something about human honesty. Being a musician means working with people, always. And you cannot be a terrible man to anybody, because everybody won't be working with you. So we are not alone. You work with people, and every human being is a separate world. So you must consider this. Not everybody is ready for a sacrifice, because you may be ready for a sacrifice, but your colleague from the band may not. And I must say, the musicians change in the bands, and sometimes it's good to separate friendship from playing, from business, because not everybody is ready for hitting big stage. Not everyone is ready for touring for, I don't know, whole year. You are not present at home whole weekends, and that may mean trouble. Of course, the whole band must work as a team, avoid conflict. The conflicts are unavoidable, but it's good to compromise. It's good to see in people good things, not bad things, not to start a fight. It's really hard as you are playing professional, because you are with the same guys or girls in the same tour bus, in the same hotels for years, and it's really hard not to get into the fight with everybody. That business is, of course, never fair 100% for anyone, because people differ. One is working hard, the second is just taking fruits. So be ready and be prepared mentally. That is not fair, fully fair anytime. Of course, be ready for changes, and just as I said, separate friendship from business. It's good to know that playing is one thing and being friend is the second thing. If someone pulls you down, really hard, of course, because we are not taking about throwing out your player just after, I don't know, he drinks your beer, but we are taking about a lot deeper things. All right. Artistic honesty. That is always a question. Should I, make my spine thicker, or should I make bad things and dirty things if they are profitable? And sometimes it's always question. Do I have a rock band? Would it become more famous if we play a love song for the girls that is suitable for the radio? Should I do it or not? And I must say, I think in the rock music, it's very important to be honest, because the audience feels it. If you are a cheater, if you are poser, if you are posing for someone you are not, that is not a good way. Because, trends may change quickly. In Poland, for example, when Korn became famous throughout the world, we suddenly had 3 or 5 bands that were similar to Korn. They play exactly the same sound with low drop tune. They even looked like Korn, had dreads, etc. Korn become less famous and the band stays with nothing. And there's always something like this. If we have a Korn, why have another but worse? It's pointless. Of course, you must feel comfortable with your band because it's not easy, to be always a poser on the stage. Money in long term will not compensate shame. If you are doing shitty music and you have, you blame yourself for playing this, but you have money, so you must do it. Sooner or later, it will make you birth. Rock music, of course, hates posers. And of course, there is no one absolute truth, because perhaps anything that I'm speaking of, it's total shit. You must find your way. So it is very good to be open-minded, to look widely, and to take into custody whatever you're thinking of. Okay. Financial investments. Mika, am I speaking too slow?
Okay.
Or it's okay? All right. Financial investments. You must be ready that equipment that is suitable for the band costs a lot of money. Of course, on the amateur level, you can play any guitar you wish. It sounds great for you, it's okay. But later, if you want to hit the pro level, you must invest in the pro equipment. It's not good to not spend money on a good equipment, because, it's your horse and weapon. It's something that you are fight with, and it depends. It's all about music, so you must sound good. It's just as we said previously, the band must sound great because audience is expecting this. So spend money on your equipment if it makes you moving forward and sound better. It's a terribly expensive hobby because for this presentation I quickly recalculated the cost of our backline, not frontline but only backline, like drums, guitars, monitor system, microphones, and it appears that we are riding with 20,000 euro in the back of our van, and we are not actually the most expensive band in the universe, because there are bands that have backline that cost 10 times more. Of course, everything like the whole equipment, like keyboards, like cables, it costs a lot of money, so it's a terrible expensive hobby. Of course, do not be scared, because money don't play. You can sound great if you have a vision, and of course, if you buy the cheapest things, you won't sound great, but you may sound really cool if you have a vision of this, what you want to throw into audience. Of course, you can build your gear constantly, you can upgrade it anytime you wish. Well, and that is a good advice, the last one, be independent. Because usually the band comes to the club, the clubs have usually some drums, some amplifiers, but as soon as you are independent, you are not dependable of something that you come on. Because the acoustics that are provided by clubs, they don't know your music. They don't know how do you want to sound. So as soon as you are independent, it may profit with the great sound of your band, and you do not have to worry about something missing at the club. Because it's always, you come to the club and it appears they don't have a microphone, for example. Audio and video production. I guess I will run through this quickly because later we will have a lot more about it. But it's a very good advice. If you want to hit big, you have to record in a good studio. Sooner or later, it's unavoidable. Because people don't give a shit that then you don't have money for good recordings. As if the band sounds poor, everyone thinks the band cannot play. If the band makes a bad video, they look not too good. Nobody cares that you have spent $100, not $500 or $1,000. It's good to take it into the custody. So sooner or later, the band, if it wants to go professional, it must sound good. Be prepared, polish up your songs, and very important, do not treat lyrics as a sad duty. Because rock bands are usually founded by guitarists, and the guitars are most important. And lyrics usually, we take some guy, he will sing, no matter, write something about death or about love, and it's okay. No, because in my opinion, of course, I'm a singer, so so I must say I'm for it. In my opinion, lyrics are at least as much important as a music, because the audience, there are not musicians, not always, not everyone. So you must also address your music to people who don't play. They are just listening. So it's your mouth. The mouth of the band is a guy or girl who sings. Video, we live in a culture of picture. The band that doesn't make videos doesn't exist. So I must say, if our song is just on streams, it has, for example, 100,000 views. If it goes with video, it's 10 times more. So make videos, make pictures, and do movies to your social media, because it's very important for the audience to see you, not only to hear you. Concept is most important, really. Come on, guys, it's not about spending a lot of money on video. If you have a good idea, you can make a video from a phone. But make it happen. Let's make, a fabule of it, some story. The video also can tell something, not only show the band. And a great example is our video to Rapapara. It's our song that is our biggest hit. It has 160 million views on YouTube. And the video cost us around €1,000. It was made from one camera, but it shows people on Poland Rock, and it went really hard. What we said also previously, always look at yourself from a distance. Think, is my music cool? Is this video cool? If I would be in the audience, not here on the stage, should I look should I look on it, and what would I think about it? Is it cool? Do I want to listen to this music? Do not fool yourself that it does not matter. Criticize your own stuff. Make yourself, the greatest critic of your works. Touring. Touring also will be presented lately in much wider thing. I guess we all agree about it, that we should tour and play as much as we can, because concert is the heart, is the stone and the bone of rock and roll music. There is a lot of bands that I know that make great music, but they do not tour because it's always too far. They don't have time because there's a weekend. Without touring, without playing gigs, it's almost impossible to get to people's heart. Local, so big. We can pass it through, I guess, because later we will take it widely. All right. So, if it goes with a band, you must think of few things that are really important and take care of every brick that we were speaking previously. The bricks build the wall. So, there's a social media you must take care of. There's the streaming, because everyone today listens music only through streaming, not through CDs. There's, of course, YouTube. There's a database you must have. The phone calls to the clubs, phone calls to the people who can provide you with a gig. You must build society around your band. You must always remember about mailing and about making a good press pack. So if anyone comes to you and asks you, hey, what is your band? Show me your band, come on. You must have ready a link to your pictures, to your bio, so you can send it immediately. And of course, as we said earlier, there is no one golden method, so you must work multi-directional, brick by brick. If you take every brick into working, it may appear that the whole thing together will put you higher. Setting the foundation, identity. That is cool. Perhaps I am not the greatest example of it because our band is anti-imageable. But if you think about image and clothes, very often bands don't think about it and go to the stage just like they walk dressed every day. And everyone thinks that is good because I'm honest. I am not dressing up to the stage. And I must agree with that. It's really fantastic. But if you want to have a real professional band, you must take it also into attention because the band must look great. Sorry, that is true. We may not like this true, but it's true still. So look sharp, adequate to your music, compact with other members. It's a big mistake to think that looks doesn't matter. It does matter. No one, will tell you that is the true, but it is. Lyrics, of course, as we speak previously, it's the mouth of you. Think what you want to sing about. Be yourself. Make some message to the people you are singing to. Oh, sorry, not yet. Music, and it is a hardest task to find a compromise between being both consistent and revealing, because there is a great competition and there's really many bands. Someone said that everything was yet invited and there is no possibility to think up of something completely new. Originality, just as we said, there is one corn where there should be another, only worse. Oh, I guess I hope answer to the theme. And of course, consistency. So don't be a disco roller who plays black metal and sings about Babylon, because it's mishmash, it's complete bullshit. You must choose your directs, but perhaps if you will mix up the things totally from different worlds, maybe that is the way. Maybe you can break the barrier and think up of something totally new. And quality, of course, no matter what genre you play, it might be disco polo, it might be death metal, it might be reggae. The quality is what matters. You must sound well, prepare set list, improve all the time. It is important. Example, Beyoncé. This is consistent artist with identity, yeah? Everyone agrees with that? Its image is consistent, has a great lyrics, etc. Behemoth also is a consistent artist with identity. So, as we talked at the beginning, commercial doesn't mean shit. You can make a real hard music, be a commercial, be a marketing specialist, PR specialist, dress well. It doesn't matter because we are taking the things to the higher level. So avoid looking at the word commercial as something bad. And of course, do it yourself. Also, we must agree with Dirty Shirt and Helenina Ochi here that it's very important to have as many tails in your hand as it is possible. Because it always seems very hard to do something, and there is always an excuse to do nothing. Oh no, it's too hard, I won't do it because it's impossible to be your own accountant or bookkeeper. It is impossible to record a record in a good studio. It's too expensive. No, that is not true. Of course, it takes step by step. You cannot move to something really big in a moment. But I must say it is the best way to deal with rock music today, because you are independent and you know what is happening with your band all the time. So there are many people who offer services. You can always hire someone to take PR or recordings for you, but they are usually expensive and usually then do this thing as good as you can. Usually they overprice their capabilities. and of course you care the most. The rest doesn't care that much. You are a product for them. You are someone who can pay them money and forget about you 5 minutes after they put you an invoice. So the more knowledge you have, more freely you will run through the whole industry. So improve yourself, be independent, think about doing as much by yourself as you can. Do it yourself attitude. So it's a wider, learn from others, self-learn, it's really easy. You can look for information everywhere, look what others do. Not only you have great ideas, observe the impact of what you're doing, because it's the best solution. Do something and look for the impact, how it does impact the band and everything that people are looking for. Search for knowledge. Today we have internet, we have online courses. It's really easy to learn for free and improve yourself. Audio and video production, think about where you sound. Play at home, search for solutions that suit you. Be competent musician. It's good to know something about sound. Don't be an idiot that doesn't know what is the difference between a tone and harmonics. It's always good to know something like this. Communications and PR, you will always do it the best way, because nobody knows you as good as you know yourself. So it's you. You must present yourself, and you know the best way to do it. And of course, bands management and accounting. So it is the hardest part, because everyone thinks it's impossible to manage your own band because you don't have contacts, etc. And you know, the bookkeeping, it's so hard. You must sit on the tables with the numbers. It's really easy. I'm an accountant of my own band, and also I run a music shop for 15 years. It's really not so hard as it seems. So I guess it's very good to have a do-it-yourself attitude, because you are independent and you know the best what happens in your band. Merchandise, it's always, it also will be later taking into attention. But merchandise is also important. Produce your own merchandise, do it by yourself. Let this represent you, because something that people are wearing, it's your, I don't know, crest on their body. So let it be cool, let it be fun. So, summary of this whole my exception. Define your goals. It makes things clear. Really, really think what you want to achieve with your band. Do not abominate PR and marketing stuff. So do not throw this away because it's commercial. It's not honorable to take PR and management into custody. Find your own way. Stick to this way consistently. It's really good to, you know, if you want to do a metal band, okay, there is metal, so make a metal things. Be honest with yourself and environment. You are working with people, and you are one of them. So do not be a boss, a terrible, cruel boss to anyone. Invest in gear, good audio, video. People want to listen to a band that sounds and looks great. Tour and promote yourself as much as you can. Just give people a chance to hear you. Do not sit at home and wait for miracles to happen, because they won't. And of course, you want some done right, do it yourself as much as you can. And I guess that's it for the basic, as I had to say. Thank you.
So thank you, hippies. After each topic, there is 5 minutes for questions. If you have questions, also the people who are watching us online, if you have questions, you can leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook, and we will try to answer to them. In remarks, just to say that you present the difference between amateur and professional. Helenine Oci and Litka Gubasa are both bands professional. Dirty Shadow are semi-professional, so it's, let's say you are professional. So what's the difference is that we are trying to be professional in music, but we don't have the same volume of concerts. For example, with Dirty Shirt, annually we have like 50, 60 concerts is maximum we can. And meanwhile, Litka and Helenine Oci, they have like 100 concerts. So this is a big difference, of course, in timing on the road. But the advantage of semi-professional is the fact that you have at least some freedom. You are not have the pressure, okay, I have to do tours to live, to have money, I have to make albums, etc. You are a bit, there are less pressure to doing this. But what is more complicated, you need to find a balance, not between two things, family and music, but also your job. So it can be really complicated also to be semi-professional. There is no best solution. Each band needs to find its way. You can do it amateurly, but don't expect very much. The chances are very, very low. Or you can try to be semi-professional with constraints, or professional with other constraints. So, other questions or remarks in the audience? There is a question, if the slides will be available online. Yes, I forgot to tell you at the beginning. Latest on Monday, all the presentations and the video, it will be on Rock Alliance site. So yes, you can download the presentation. At the end, we'll have also resources with a lot of links and things of information. You can use it later.
We have a question on YouTube from Stefan Paraska. As a young band, if we want to release an album recording at home and then sending the stems for mixing and mastering elsewhere, do you think it's a good idea?
To remaster it somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, but it's also a problem that takes that you are recording must be as good as possible, and that is the trouble, because the professional studio won't take to mix and master something that it's not recorded properly. They will drop it because they are writing their names under it, and if they making some music, they also bother to have it as cool as it is possible. But it's a good thing, of course. If someone is professional, you can make home recording and really boost the sound, enhance it in many ways. So, of course, but there's always one thing. The ear is the best and final judge. If it sounds great, no matter how you will achieve it.
I think just a nuance. For example, until 20 years ago, doing this at home, it was impossible. But nowadays, with the software, with the cheaper equipment, you can do at least a part of the recordings at home without a problem. Recording keyboards, for example, you don't need a studio. You're doing everything by MIDI and you have the best quality. Also, recording a guitar, you can do it by DI. If you have a proper sound card, it's okay. But recording drums at home, this is not possible. To have good sound for drums, you have to go in a studio. I think it's the most important part of a rock band to record in a studio are the drums. For the drums, you need a lot of mics, preamps, good acoustics, good recording equipment. So at home, this is not possible. Of course, you can cheat if you're using programming, if you program your drums. This is also a solution at the beginning. You are a small local band, you don't have the money for a studio, you can also do this. But what is important, the final sound, it should be good. And mixing by a professional, it could be a solution.
But I guess the cheat is not a good word, because today, nowadays, it's absolutely no cheating. People are programming drums, it's absolutely industry standard, so I would not like to, accuse anyone of cheating because they're using samples. It's so 80s.
There are other questions online or from the audience
Yes,
here?
it's another question from Vanda. How do you prioritize your finance? You should go for the gear first or for the qualitative audio?
Always the quality of the recordings is most important, because you can borrow a guitar to record it properly. You can borrow a drums from a colleague to record it really cool. So I guess the recordings, how to say it? You always be touring from small clubs to big clubs, but music already is coming to people everywhere. And think about someone that doesn't know your name, doesn't know that band exists, and he gets a song of you to listen. So he will already see if it's professional or not, because we are listening to the music and, considering to Metallica. And if you hear a band playing live, it's always way more cooler in a small club than... sorry, I mismatched myself. I will rethink it.
Okay, I agree with you. I think in the first stage, I think that it's necessary to have very good sound for your songs in studio, because it's like your CV. If you want to apply to a festival, to a venue, if you have a bad sound, the chances to play there are zero. So you can have the best gear in the world, you won't use it. And step by step, you can upgrade your backline, your equipment, because I think every band started with shitty equipment. We started with really bad keyboards, really bad. For our first guitar player, for example, the first pedal was after a Russian scheme made by his father. So we started like this. And in time, you can invest in equipment. But when you are releasing a song or an album, it's already online. It will stay forever. So it's better to put maximum on your sound recording.
And of course, you can play on poor instruments and sound great on the recordings, and you can have great instruments and sound shitty in the recordings.
We have another question from Cătălin Stase. If you are a band at the beginning, all day you rehearse and learn new songs, how do you get out of the rehearsal room to be called to play at a festival or concert?
I think it's
What
just the next
should you do?
topic. It's the next topic from local to
Okay.
national scene. I will just develop this part. Other questions from the... So let's move to the second topic of the first part, from local to national scene. So with hippies, we'll present together. The first question is answering what was the previous question. Are you prepared? It's a good question. And to have this, first, you need at least 30 minutes of solid music. Good sound. 30 minutes is really minimum. And also to be able to play it live. And also to have it available online. So you need to have 30 minutes of music, which is already distributed online, and that you are able to play it well. And as soon as possible, as Hippie said before, be independent for your gear. Because this is very important to have the same sound on stage, to make easier things, to not have problems before a show. And of course, another very important point is to prepare your show. When you want to play live, you need to rehearse first your set list to know it very, very well, because now the live experience is really different than the rehearsals room. Live, you have a big pressure. They are the audience, they are your friends, your family, people you don't know, so this automatically is put a pressure on yourself, and it's more difficult this. And also live, this is the live. Always there are technical problems. A cable is broke, I don't know, an instrument, the battery is off, etc. So you need to be prepared for all this. You need to prepare your set list, thinking about the intro, the outro, the transition, how you will speak with the audience. So you need effectively to think all this before the first show. What do you want to show to the people, etc.
It's not coincidentally called the show. The gig is a show, so people expect show. Make an entry, say hello. There's really many bands that come to the stage drunk and unprepared. It's terrible, so be prepared.
Yes, and another aspect before the first shows, you have to prepare the tools for touring bands. It will be a section on this part, but this means you need an EPK, electronic press kit, to send to the venues, to other bands you want to play with, which includes the biography, pictures, logo, links to audio, links to video. You have to prepare promo materials, poster of your events, etc. You will send to the promoters. Also technical riders, which is really important for your band. You need to prepare your technical rider before the show to send to the venue. Like this, the local technical team can prepare your show. So I think these are the most important questions if you are prepared. And the second point, play as often as possible. There is no, I don't know, magic key, magic thing that will make your success. You have to play very, very often as possible. I remember that I read online an interview with a QA, with a IAR from Roadrunner Records, and he said that when he booked a band, he gave them 200 concerts. This is the minimum of concerts that the band needs to test if they have a future or not in rock music. And thinking on this afterwards, I was, yes, we really needed more than 200 shows to have a sound. This is the truth. You cannot to be free on stage without experience. So this demands time. You have to play often. And when I say play often, this means taking all opportunities. So when you are a local band, first thing, you have to apply to clubs. You send your EPK and offer to open for more famous bands. You are in, I don't know, in Bucharest, you are watching what bands are announced in your city, and you try every time. Open for many different bands, because they have different audience, so you can expose your music to different people. Also, something to know, bigger bands are usually, looking for a local act because they will have more people of the show, but you need to call them and write them because it's something to know for a bigger band to take you as an opening act. It's also, it implies constraints. It's more difficult technically, logistically. The timing is not the same, so it's also difficult for the main band to take an opening act. And something that we had to put this on the slide, don't expect money in the beginning, because it happened to us, the same very young band who played once in the city center of a free concert, said, why you don't pay us 500 euros or 1,000 euros, because we played in front of 1,000 people, we'll bring people. Guys, it's not working like this. Already to take you, maybe we have to pay a sound engineer to make the sound for you, maybe we have to pay the light engineer to make the lights for you, maybe we have to give you equipment because you don't have it, etc. So you expect money. No, at the beginning, don't expect money for this. It's not possible, honestly. Especially if, for example, in that venue, usually you are doing sold out. So taking a band is commercially, it's no interesting for the band. If you are doing this, is especially for the young bands to give them a chance. So as an opening act, don't ask money for the money at the beginning.
This happened many times.
Yes, it happens. So yes, it's true. Also, you are a local band. You have your first demo, your first EP. You opened for several bands, but it's time to organize your own small gigs. And this is important. At the beginning, it's very encouraging. Why? Because you have your first in your small town. You invite all your friends from the university or from the school, your family, etc. So it'll be a lot of people. Think, it's working well. But after 2 or 3 shows, you will see that the family cannot come every weekend, the friends cannot come every weekend. So in this time, you have to think about cooperation with other bands.
Can I drop in? It's also the best solution. Not wait for anyone to call you. Organize your own show. It's really easy. You go to the club, ask the owner, we want to bring some people to hear us. We won't be doing any tickets because if it's free entry, and it's a lot of joy for the band that wasn't playing even one show to make something like this. Do not wait, organize your own show.
Yes, and of course, don't be an opening act forever. Yes, this is good for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, but there is a time when you need to go further. So we will go to the next step, collaborate with other bands. I will take the example that I saw in France, where a lot of music collectives were created by city, for example, in Marseille or in Strasbourg, where several bands put effort together and creating a collective. They organize local events and play together quite often. This is a good thing because you can mix up audience. You have your friends and friends, I have my friends and family, so together it will be bigger crowd, so everyone is winning here. Of course, you can use common advertising, you can help each other promoting yourself, and there is another point I think which is important, is the fact that you can provide technical and organizational support to each other. Imagine we are 4 bands. We are friends, okay, let's do a collective. I will need the guy to stay at the entry. Okay, I will help you, and you will help me instead. Okay, I will pay you 20 euros and something like this too. And it can work. And what's happening if, for example, I will do the sound for you, even you are not professional, but in time, this can become your job. I saw, for example, people in France who started as musicians, they were in a collective, they helped each other with the sound, with the lights, and they progressed, and now they are very known sound engineer in France. So I really advise you to try to join or to create a music collective in your city, on your town. It's a really, really good strategy, at least at local level, to have a good base.
And I must say, be nice to other bands, because, you know, the competition in rock and roll is great, and usually bands hate each other or even laughs at each other, and it's a really bad solution. Do not be, you know, the douchebag that thinks my band is the best and these are the scums. No, we are a family, and it is not an empty word. Treat yourself with respect, and you'll be treated back also with respect.
And you can see this kind of collective even at a greater level. For example, Korn was an example with Family Value Tours. They created a collective with Limp Bizkit and I don't remember other bands from. Yes, and they were like a collective doing tours together, etc. So once locally, let's say you're good, now you have a strong local presence. If you want to go to national level, one excellent strategy is to do national exchanges. Okay, I'm a brand from Cluj-Napoca, you are friends from Bucharest, let's play together a weekend in my region, 1 weekend in your region. It's really a win-win solution because when you play in the other city, you will have the crowd from the other band and vice versa. And also financially, I think it's more interesting that going in a new city and playing in front of 10 people doesn't help you very well. So it's better, or it's a good idea to try to make exchange. Find similar bands in the country and propose this kind of exchange. It works in national level, and we will see later also international level.
A good example is like Witka and Dirty Shirt. We are exchanging countries, so we came to Romania for free, only for transportation cost, etc. And they came to Poland. And now Dirty Shirt is concerting, touring regularly in Poland every year for 2 or 3 shows. More. And they are usually paid on the festivals because they are recognizable in Poland. So now they have their own audience here, and that's the way.
Yes.
This is the way.
This is the way. Also, you should be open to musical collaboration and joint recordings. This is a nice thing, and also it's a win-win. You have friends from another band, you can guest them, invite them to be on your recording. So this kind of things. Let's go to the other strategy to go national. Okay, you do this exchange. Another thing it's normal to do is to apply to festival and contest. For the festival, it's a big competition. So it's quite difficult. You need a certain level to be taken by the festivals. But there is also the solution of the contest. And the contests, there is once again big competition. But at least if you win, you can arrive to pay the festival. Why applying to the festival? Of course, you will have exposure and networking. It's a very important performance experience because playing in a small gig, in a small venue, is not the same to be in a big stage with timing constraints, with logistical constraints, with technical difficulties. So playing in a big festival in the front of big audience, it's really important experience. Then for the contest, of course, sometimes there are nice prizes and opportunities, so it could be interesting. You have recognition. For the festival, you will find new audience. Of course, the press is more present, so you will have more media coverage. And there are many successful stories of bands that started and win contests. For example, Gojira, when they started in France, they participated for several tremplins, how do you say in French, contests. They won. Also, Ghost, for example, they won some local Grammy contest when it were underground, and after this they became huge. Slipknot also started to be the local contest in Iowa. I think they are from Iowa. And yes, so, but there are some cons on this. Of course, there are high competition. It demands a lot of time and effort. You have to write like 100 emails to festivals, and probably you won't have an answer. So you keep continuing. If not, the chances are really low. Sometimes for some contests, there are entry fees. So you have to pay it if you want to enter the contest. I don't find this nice, but it happens. And there are also the judging subjectivity. So you participate to a contest, but there are always some judges. Maybe they will be okay with the music and not. And there's also sometimes online contest. And there is another problem because the competition between bands sometimes become really bad. It happens for us for Dirty Fest last year. We had an online contest with the bands, and finally the band started to spam all their families, friends, etc. to vote. We had like more than 12,000 votes in 1 week, something like this, and the band started to say that the other is cheating, etc. We were watching online, and every 1 minute, 100 more votes for each one. It was crazy. So there are negative aspects also for the contest that you need to know. And to finish with the contest, in Romania, just as example, you know, there is Posada Rock for the bands who want to contest. It's a really nice contest, Constellații Rock. There is also Wacken Battle Romania, which is the first stage, is in, of course, a national contest. And East European Rock Alliance that I will present later. It should be a nice contest, I hope. And for our experience with the contest, it's about Wacken Metal Battle. As you probably know, in 2014, we win the national final, and we went to Wacken Festival. And something to know is not, you try the first time and it worked. No, you have to be perseverant, trying again. So we tried 3 times. The first time we were in the final, we finished second. Bad luck. Second time, we didn't make it to the final because in the semi-final we had a lot of technical...
second time we were last.
Yes.
The last band in the contest, yes.
It was really bad. And the third time, it was the good one. So if the first time it doesn't work, let it like this. I remember that before the third time when it was me and Robbie who insisted in the band, the others said, okay, no chance for us, we are not really metal, this is not for us. And me and Robbie, but guys, imagine, maybe we can play at Wacken. And after a lot of discussion, we accepted and finally it worked. And now we can pass for festivals and contests for Poland perspective.
I don't know if you said about pay-to-play shows.
It's later.
It's later, okay.
Okay, so in Poland, festival and constants, I guess it's like in every other country. So, you know, you must be ready, but because every band will be doing the gigs for the 5 people or less, even when you are coming to the stage, expect great things, and there are 2 guys, 1 drunk and 1 blind. It happens. There are, of course, examples of very famous bands that went unnoticed for years, like Monster Magnet, Disturbed. I read somewhere that Disturbed was working through years, like walking to the random people on the street and giving their demo. And it worked after a year of giving the demo to anybody that was met on the streets. And not to look too far, we are also the example of it because Witka is playing for almost 25 years and 18 of it was totally underground. We were doing everything wrong and later it appeared that somewhere we went something right and it moved us forward. It's always a road to something bigger and if you are applying for the contest, you must remember that playing is the most important, but it should lead you to finally have something more. And of course, do not be a contest band for 40 years, because I know the bands in Poland that are applying to the contest, the guys already have, I don't know, 50 years, and they are still running with the guys that are 18 or 19 years old. So I guess it's kind of funny if you are playing for 40 years and achieve nothing. So strike while the iron is hot. Because if you win something, if you will show yourself somewhere in an attractive way, do something with it. Do not get back home, sit on your ass, and expect a miracle to happen. Advantages, I guess we are playing about it. You already said about it. Oh, that might be interesting for anyone in Poland and also other countries. Yep.
No, it's okay.
No, they're giving me signs there. All right. The biggest contest in Poland, of course, there's the Poland Rock Festival. That is a greatest festival in Europe, I guess. There's a record was, I don't know, about like 2 million people? 500,000 under the stage and 2 million around in costume yet. Yeah. But it's a really, really great stage. With the festival goes the contests. I guess every year a few hundred bands appear and most of them are from Poland, but there's a very solid rock and roll representation from other countries. 800 bands last time applied to the contest, so the competition is great. Juvenalia UK, it's a student party from Krakow. It's a really great also contest. And Cieszanów is also a great contest that Rolf applying for because they are really looking into the music, not to connections. There's also Żubrowisko, Fama Rock and radio contest, but they are smaller and it's not as attractive. But Poland Rock is for every band from Europe. Really send there your demo and see what may happen. Our way was complicated because we are sending a record, then we play preliminaries, then we are playing finals. We had a reward like a small stage in 2018 and we are very disappointed because we are so sure that our band is so great, we deserve the big stage. We got the small stage and it was really nice because we had a year to prepare for a big stage. On Poland Rock there's a Golden Spinner Award. It is given by the audience in voting. So if a band plays really nice gig, the people vote for this band and they receive the Golden Spinner and play the big stage next year. Just like we and just like Dirty Shirt, because they won a competition in Poland, receive the Golden Spinner and play next year. So it's a great opportunity that shows that band from the other country may win this award and play next year. And the big scene in 2011, it was great, absolutely. So it took a lot of work and a lot of sweat to get there in these years. And for every musician, it's worth to remember that, like Witka, we were applying several times, just like Mikhail previously said. You apply, you are thrown down, and you apply once again. It's a constant work you must do to apply to any contest. Finally, perhaps someone will take you and let you play. For example, we played with Witka also previously in 2011, and we did nothing with it. We played a great gig. People were so happy about it. They wrote us, it was great, it was absolutely amazing, but we did nothing with it. We weren't able to go to tour, play the concert in Poland, so half year later, it was a total quiet about us, and now I see that was a big mistake. You must always realize what it takes to get the job done properly, so it's always many hard lessons that expect you, and do not be so obsolete to think that your band is already the best, because hard lessons are on its way, and you will many times look at you like on a piece of shit, because they will... move on, please. I forgot what I wanted to say. What to remember if you're applying to a contest or festival in Poland? I guess it's always about any contest in Europe. Be interesting, because the guys that are judging the records, they have, for example, I don't know, 200 records to get look at. So they have a few seconds to judge you if you are interesting or not. So make the best or most interesting song first on the record. Because, you know, usually, I don't know, I drive a car, I get a record, and I must say, is the band worth applying for the contest or not? Okay, let's roll, boring, next one, boring, next one. Oh, this one's interesting. So really, the judges have few seconds to judge the band, so put the most interesting things first. Send a decent recording, because poor audio has no chances with the good recordings. Have a decent picture attached, because everyone wants to look what this band looks like. Do not mock too much, and do not write, hey, we know we suck, but we drink a lot, so we are the funny band, yeah, this is rock and roll. No, be serious. If you want to hit serious, be serious, because it's not the way to be someone who only puts a joke on it. And take care of social media, because if someone takes you into judgment, they will always check your social media. If the band is active, what they are writing of themselves, if they are playing gigs or not, do they have a website, do they have a Facebook profile. Band that doesn't have a social media working, it's always out of competition.
Okay. So we'll continue still with from local to national scene. There are 2 points that I want to develop a little bit. It's about releasing singles, EPs, and albums. So as we said from the beginning, you need to put effort to have the best audio quality possible. And of course, nowadays, you have to try to support your music with video content. Even if it's just a visualizer or something with the AI, these days, a song with the video has much higher impact than without a video. I give as an example, Helenine Ochi, for their last album, all songs have a video. So for all songs, they have have millions of views because of this very good strategy. And of course, doing a record without online promotion and distribution, it means nothing. And once you have a release, it will be a song, a video clip, or a song, or an album. Always try to accompany the release with the live events. You know, making an album and without a tour behind, the chances of success are really low. So, for example, you make your first EP as a young band, create a special event to mark the release. You can do it in your town. Okay, release party for our first album. Especially in that case, use your personal network. Ask your friends, family, come to this event. It's important for me. It's our first album. It's our first video. Come to this event. You can prepare special merchandising for that because it's a special event. So have T-shirts or I don't know badges or something with the design of the album. And why not considering a live recording to capture the moment? When you have big events, live recording is a good thing to make it. Why? Because when you apply to festivals and to contests and venues, they will more often watch for the live videos than the studio videos, because as a promoter, you want to see how the band looks and sounds on the stage. So you can have the best studio recording. If you have poor live recording, the chances are really low to get. And now, how you can manage the tour to go from local to national scene. So I think it's really important to create an event around each concert tour. So just having a concert in the city X, it may work for big bands, but especially for developing bands, it's good to create something, an event around it. For example, as I said before, it could be a new content, like a new album, song, or video. But for older bands, also you have some anniversaries, like of the band or for an album. For example, the band makes 1 year. Okay, let's do a special event. The band has 1 year. The band has 5 years. Okay, let's do a special event. But don't go like we have 1 year, 2 years, every year have a special anniversary event, because it's not the best, I think. Also, this, I think, is when you are tour, it's important to stay in contact with your audience, with the fans. So maybe you can organize meet and greets, but there is also non-formal, informal solution is to be there with the fans before and after the show. And this is something, for example, as with Dirty Shirt, we are doing all the time. We love to be with our fans that became real friends in time. We know each other now for years. So try to be in contact with your audience. Think also about collaborations with other artists. You have special guests. Okay, I release a new album. I will have special guest, Mr. X from this band. He will sing a song with us. And now we'll have some examples.
Just wanted to say that the most important thing about making an event is to make it as much unique as it is possible.
Yes.
So make it unique.
So I will give some examples from Dirty Shirt that each tour had some event around it. Example, the last album was released in 2022, so of course we had a big tour to release this album. This year our band has her 30th anniversary, so it's a good idea to make an anniversary tour. We will prepare a special show. When you do, special event around a tour or a concert, also you need to provide original content for that. For example, for this anniversary tour, it's an occasion to include songs that we play rarely or new song. So it's not enough just to say, okay, it's an anniversary tour. Yes, but if it's an anniversary tour, you need to give something that matches with this idea. Also, we tried once, and it was a very good experience. We made an album anniversary for Freak Show, made 10 years in 2023. So we said, let's make 3 concerts special Freak Show in Cluj, Bucharest, and Brașov. And it was much higher success than we expected, because we already played in this city several times that year. And it was quite a nice surprise to see some old fans that we didn't see for a while coming to that shows. I want to see the songs from Freak Show because it was my favorite album 10 years ago. Okay, and also younger fans that wanted to discover these songs. So yes, it's a good idea to make album anniversaries. But sometimes it could be even something different. For example, in 2023, we made a crowdfunding to fund our new van. We had big problems with our vans in the past, and the crowdfunding worked really well. And we said, okay, we can thank our fans for this by organizing a special tour for this crowdfunding. We called it Road Rage Tour, because we had the new van. And we had a lot of meet and greets, free with the fans, free entry for the people who participated to the crowdfunding. Also, we started there the Forever Friends campaign to thank the community. We helped a lot of associations and NGOs in our concerts. Christy will talk about it later. Something also that it could work is create your own festival. A lot of people say, okay, creating your own festival, you need to be big band to do this, but it's not really true. For example, for Dirty Shirt, we first tried Dirty Fest. It was in 2010 and 2013. We made it in Sein, in our hometown. We didn't have a stage. We used as a stage a truck. And we put the band in the truck. We had as guests local bands, and it was a really nice event for a weekend. We had like more than 200, 300 people, and it was really nice. So you don't need to be a big band to do your own festival. Of course, last year, for example, 10 years later, we tried again to make the Dirty Fest, and it was a different perspective. This time, we made kind of itinerary festival, with a festival in Cluj-Napoca, another in Timișoara, and the last one in Bucharest. Another example as own festival, we have here the guys from Heleni Neoci. They started 2 years ago Hellfest, their own festival. This is other level because they have like 7 or 8 stages on the festival. It's a one-day open-air festival in Prešov. And they have like 6,000, 7,000 people at their festival. So this is also how we met them, and now we are good friends. We have also Litka Griu-Gubasa with their own festival.
Yeah, of course. It's a great example of collaborating with other bands because we have some friends. Every band from this festival could organize a crowd for around 200 people. When we played together, it was 1,500. So the cumulation works. We have a festival in Poland that is called OFF Festival, and it's, you know, the alternative, cool music like indie rock, etc. So we made a punk rock festival that is called Fuck Off Festival. It's, you know, the playing of the words, and it worked properly because people always think festival. Oh my God, so many thousand people, so many troubles with toys, with gastronomy, with protection, etc. No, festival might be in a club like this for 500 people, and it also might be a festival. So it's good to organize with other bands and make your own festival because you never know how far the brand may go into the future.
As example, Hellfest, it started with Fury Fest, a festival with 300 people.
And it's also good to reconsider that you may hire a booking agency to help you, because the Fuck Off Festival was made with Galicia production, and it is an independent booker that makes punk rock music. So we just organize with them. The bands are playing, and the Galicia is making ticket sale, promotion, and it's a loose formation that profits everyone.
Okay, and about managing the tours. This could be a topic for a workshop itself. We can talk about it for hours. So just some points, something to know before you want to go on to a national tour. So before the tour, first thing I think is really important to prepare your budget and route plan. Okay, you're going on tour. If you didn't have a budget to know exactly the cost and who will pay all this, you risk to find yourself somewhere without money for gas. So first thing first, you have to take care of your route plan and prepare your budget. About the route plan, especially in the national tours, there are 2 strategies. It's better to do long tours, like 10 days, every day a concert, or only weekends. I think if the distance is not big, it's better to do weekend tours, because also for your personal life it's easier and it's more chances to have a bigger audience. But when you have bigger tours, especially international tours, maybe having every day a concert is a better solution. Then, once you prepare, when you want to make your route plan, you need to find opportunities. You look for festivals, for promoters to organize yourself, or directly the venues with do-it-yourself shows. Of course, in a tour you can combining, for example, having some shows with another band that you made exchange, other shows you organize by yourself, you have a festival, you can try another event around it, so there are many solutions. Also, you need to prepare the contracts before. Because if you are doing we play for a festival, you will need a contract for your fees, etc. If you are playing in a venue, you will need contract to hire the venue, etc. If you are doing yourself the ticketing, you also need a contract with the ticketing company. And also you need to prepare your promotion materials before. As usually, the press keys, posters, logos, pictures, and videos to send to the venue or the promoter to help you to promote the event. Then someone needs to set up the ticketing. It's you, if it's do it yourself, or the promoter, but it's something that needs to be done. And then you can announce finally the tour and the concert on your website, on social media. You can make press releases, send to all the press, create Facebook events, etc. Once you announce the event, the next step is promote it, especially online. Until 10 years ago, the promotion was rather with flyers and posters. Nowadays, we are more ecological, so are doing almost 100% online. So think about organic content. If you have a concert, you need to to try to make some invitation video, funny things, but you need content to try to organically increase the impact online of the promotion. But also you need to consider paid ads. This is the truth. If you don't invest in the promotion of the event, the chances to have someone to come on this concert are really low. Even if you are big enough, if nobody knows that, I don't know if nobody knows that Litka Grubasa will play in Warsaw, nobody will come, of course. Then meanwhile, you need to prepare the schedule of the event. Maybe it's the festival who's doing, but someone needs to prepare very carefully the schedule. This means which band, when it plays, when is the doors open, the time of changeover, when is the curfew, and everything has to go backwards. First, you watch when is the curfew. I have to finish at 11 because there is a party. This means that I have to put everything before. When you have the doors open and the curfew, you can prepare the sound check part. When is the change? When is the load in, the setup preparation, and the change and the sound check for each band? Okay, you have to prepare the logistics for the events. This means if you need to take the planes, if you have to take the route plan, to prepare the route plan for the car, etc. Someone needs to prepare the catering. It's a promoter, he will do it. If not, you have to think yourself, because you cannot leave your friends from your band without eating something all the day, or you have at least water on the stage. You need also accommodation, so you need to think all things before. Also, it's important aspect is the security at the events. If it's the promoter who is doing this, if he's organizing, or yourself. And of course, the technical preparation. You need to send riders to the venue, ask from the venue for the riders to be sure that everything is okay before the show. It happens us quite often in Romania. Something like this, okay, I send the rider to the venue, I ask the venue, give us the rider to know what you have there. We will sit there, etc. This is not a good attitude. Believe me, especially when we had something like 9 shows in 9 consecutive days in Romania. It's impossible to know, okay, in the first show, they don't have this, but I have to call him, etc. So it's the best strategy is to have everything very well planned before. The logistics and the technical part. And after the tour, because it's not finished, after the tour, you have to finalize the budget to see exactly how it worked. Complete payments, you have to pay probably sound engineer, lights engineer, booker, etc. It depends who has to be paid. You have to do the paperwork, make invoice for the festival if played for a fee, etc. I think a really important part is also the post-tour communication. It happens quite often that bands, they played and they go and that's it. I think it's important to your friends to share online photos, pictures and videos to show, okay, it was nice, we felt together also, okay. And also to thank your partners, the venues, promoters, etc. It's nice, I think, as a promoter, to find an email from the band, thank you that you welcome us, I felt really well, etc. Because for the next time, this will be a good point for them. It's the band, they were nice, etc. So don't forget this. And sometimes, if the band is registered for copyrights, you need to manage also the copyrights. To send the playlist with the composer, etc., to be sent to the copyrights organization. And the last point from local to national scene, I will let hippies to talk about the impact of a hit, because they have a hit.
Yeah. Oh, let's say it's a hit. Huh? Okay, so now, it shows in a great way how sometimes something that will appear constantly can make you moving a lot forward in one moment. Because, you know, we have a song, Rapapara. The song was written in 2007 or 8, something like this. And for a long, long time, it was lying somewhere there. We were, you know, we knew that it's a good song and it might be a hit because it's classical 4-chord, etc. For today, it has 153 million views on the YouTube, and nobody knows how it is possible. Even our video provider that takes care of our YouTube, they also do not know, and they don't want to touch it because it's not actually, you know, fitting the algorithm of the YouTube, and it should be corrected. But they do not want to move it because it's all the time doing by itself. Before the hit, we played gigs like 200 kilometers from home. Max audience was 150, 200. We had no stream incomes because we weren't even thinking about putting ourselves to something like Spotify and have any profit from it. It's for what? Come on, we won't do it because it has no sense. We had no online ticket sale. We were totally underground, and band was only a hobby. After it shoot, we played on the big stage of Poland Rock. Now we have whole country tours. Max audience of our separate concert was around 1,500 people. We are speaking about selling tickets because as it goes for open air, it's completely different thing. We have deal with ticket sales systems. We have stream, YouTube, merchandise deals. We have provider that takes care of monetization of YouTube. We have a national recognition, and band became a job for us. So from the amateur to the pro, and I must say it's mostly thanks to this one song because it broke the bubble. It is very important to be not afraid of making a hit because very often bands think, oh no, I will not go commercial, I will not sing a nice refrain, I will not sing the lyrics that are, easy to share with other people because it's not the true rock and roll. Do not be afraid of making a hit rock music. It is all about. Metallica has Nothing Else Matters. It's a hit. Slipknot even has hits. So do not be afraid of it because it make greatly moving forward, as you see the picture. So this is the Litka Grubasa before, and this is the Litka Grubasa after. Of course, it's a comedian because one day we were dressing in some funny things, and we thought it was a great solution. After we make some things right and read good songs and make a video, after 10 years of the premiere of Rapapara, we made a video. We are totally fools that we wait for such a long period, but it came from our laziness and not understanding many things. After we made a video, it's moved things forward so quickly that we are in totally different point than previously. And of course, there are some cons of having a hit because Rapapara is the number that absolutely labeled us because many people know Litka Grubasa only from that hit. Usually, these are the people that do not go into rock music daily. Of course, it always haters appear when you are recognizable. If you are famous, if you are somewhere upper than the underground, you may expect that someone will tell you that you are shit, that you sold yourself. Of course, we are not absolutely taking it into our minds because if we would do so, it's only way, I don't know, to shoot or hang myself. But be ready for it. Always there's a funny thing that once you are funny, if you become famous, they will tell you that this is cringe, so this is shit. And I don't know where they came from. Perhaps people just hate something that is a little bit higher. It takes people attention from your other creations because many people know only this one song from us, and don't take deeper because we have many songs that, in our opinion, are much more interesting and much more artistically advanced. But people know, Litka Grubasa, it's only Rapapara. It's always tempting to do something like next hit because if one song hits great, you might think of I will do another poor song and it will always be a hit. No, it's not the easiest solution, but the tempting is. In our case, it is also the simplest song we ever made because I must say we are playing a true rock and roll and metal music, and Rapapara was a joke, 100% joke. It was made in, I don't know, 15 minutes on our rehearsal room, and later I must admit I was sitting for some time to write a good lyrics, but it's always a joke, and everyone thinks that Litka Grubasa is playing a music like this, thought we are much more harder band and playing louder. Yet I must say, besides the cons, we are always playing it with absolute joy, and it's always a gig smasher that we play at the end, and it always gets the people to run around like crazy. So I guess I'm proud of this song, and fuck the haters.
Thank you. So we have now the questions from the audience. Just one remark. You said that the bands are afraid to making a hit. I think it's not afraid. It's just to have the idea, the luck to make a hit. Because, as you said, the song was for a while in your baggage, and I don't think that there is a solution to make a hit. It's a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of luck, and a lot of stars.
Yeah, of course, but I remember myself as I was, I don't know, 10 or 15 years younger, and I thought, you know, that's you make your hands dirty if you are making a music that goes wider. So, you know, I'm a total underground metal player, and I don't want to be recognizable on the national level because it sucks that there are only traitors.
Do you have questions in the audience or from online? Okay. We'll continue with the last point for the strategy part. It's about international touring strategies that I will present. So I will expand 4 points. Once again, there are international festivals and contests. There are other solutions to go international, being opener for international bands, and I will take in discussion also the pay-to-play thing. There are the international exchanges that can work really, really well. And finally, how to manage international independent tours. So for the international festival and contest, the pros are obvious. You have international exposure, you have a lot of new opportunities, because after paying a big festival, there are chances to, there are other festivals that bookers from other festivals that will see you and will book for their festival. You will have chances to play in other venues. You can have a connection with professional from the industry. Of course, playing at the international festival, you will increase your CV. And it helps in the future. For us, for example, after winning second place at Wacken Metal Battle, it was a little bit easier to try to book other festivals and venues international level. Also, it's an amazing personal experience. If you arrive there, it's incredible. You are playing in a big festival, so it's what you have dreamed for years. So yes, you have to try it. This is really nice. Also, participating at international festival and contest increases visibility and opportunities in the home country. For us, it was the truth. Winning second place at Wacken Metal Battle in Germany had a very big impact back in Romania, because the fans, okay, we have a band, etc. So it worked. It helps. And of course, you can potentially win monetary and equipment prizes at the contest. But there are also disadvantages. You need to, it requires to research for festival. You have to prepare application materials and write emails and forums. And once again, I can assure you, I wrote, I think, thousands of emails to have one answer to say, sorry, it's not possible. But you insist, and sometimes it happens. I have to tell you, for the major festival like Hellfest, the French one, the Slovakian one, or Wacken, or Reload, or something like this, as an independent, never worked. This is the truth, at least for us. But for some smaller or medium festival, it happened to have, after writing, it was, for example, the festival from Bremen. They say, I will like your band. Okay, let's do it. It happens, but it's really rarely. Why? Because it's really high competition. And there is an industry gatekeeping, which makes it difficult for us artists to get selected. So quite usually the festivals bookers, they are working with booking agencies because they are receiving tons of emails. It's not about being bad against the unsigned bands, but imagine if you receive, as they told for Poland, the road contest, 800 emails. It's quite difficult to be taken from this list of bands. So as I told you, it demands a long-term motivation and persistence, and you need to consider also a smaller festival. But having a booking agency increased significantly the chances. This was our case. For example, to play at Hellfest in France, without agency, we couldn't do it. To play at Poland Rock first time, we passed through a German agency, booking agency. To play at Reload Festival, it was the same. To play at Wacken, it was the same. So for international festival and contests, some examples. I invite all rock and metal bands from the world to try to apply for Wacken Metal Battles. There is nothing to lose. In the worst case scenario, you will play in the national final, which is already a great experience. You can try year after year. You don't know when it happens, but when it happens, it's really wonderful. We have Poland Rock Festival, already mentioned. Summerside Festival in Switzerland, I know that they are doing a contest for young bands. There is also Eurovision. Why not? I know that for the rock family, playing Eurovision, etc., it's really bad. But if you watch a little bit, there are really great bands, rock and metal bands that became famous after Eurovision, from Lordi, from the Italian band Maneskin, who now it's a mainstream, international mainstream. They're playing all around the world, etc. So yes, Eurovision last year became much more interesting for rock bands. You will see more and more from the rock bands that arrive in the top 10. And once if you arrive in top 10 international final of Eurovision, this is a really, really big step for a band. And East European Rock Alliance, of course. So this is the first solution, but the chances are really, really low. So it's not really, it's really tough to have this. Other solution is to open for international bands, eventually pay to play. So how it works? Already for having this opportunity is difficult because having access to the booker of the touring international bands is not easy. I don't think that if I say, okay, I see that Korn having a tour in Europe, I want to play to open for them. You cannot. You won't be C5. So you need contacts. You need to be in the network to already have this opportunity. And what's happening quite often, someone has to pay for your costs. If you are doing, for example, a European tour with a band, you are 5 members. Let's say you are 5 members. You need a place in the nightliner. Who will pay for this one? You will need a sound engineer. Who will pay for him? A light engineer, etc. So there are many costs that need to be covered. And don't expect like a booking agency that you don't know will pay for you. It can happen that a label can pay for the opening band if the opening bands and the headliner are in the same label. So they are investing in their own band. If not, the only solution is to pay to play. So this means that you will cover your cost. And I think this is quite okay. You say, yeah, I want to open for this band. I don't have fans in this country. It's the first time I will play in Germany, France, etc. It is normal that I cover my cost. But it happens quite often that they are asking much more than this. Why? Because they're considering that you pay for exposure, etc. And what's happening for underground bands, usually the tours are not profitable without opening acts. So they need to ask the opening acts to pay to cover the cost of the entire tour. They are pros. These pros are the same as the festival. Being on a tour with a big band, it's a big exposure. You have media, you have audience everywhere. And but there are some advantages that are different than the festival. Is the fact that you can build artistic and human connection with international bands and international professionals. Being in the same, nightliner with a band for 2 weeks, for 1 month, it's inevitable you will create personal connection with professional and with musician. And also merchandising sales. For the big festivals, first when we play the big festivals, okay, we played Wacken, they will have thousands of people, we will have huge selling of merch. Proportionally are much lower compared to the venue festival. Why? Because the people is going there and they will buy the festival t-shirt. They will want a festival with Wacken, not with the t-shirt. You know what I mean? But when you are playing as an opening act, if you have 10 shows, for example, the chances to sell merch are much higher accumulated in a venue like this, in a venue tour. And this is a good thing because with your merch selling, you can cover your cost or almost all costs. So we had tours when we paid ourselves, for example, the logistic. We didn't get any money to pay in this tour. But with the merchandising, we cover more than 50% of the cost, maybe even more.
Yeah, we opened for Skindred, if you know Skindred. We had 2 shows in Germany. And the guys from Skindred led their merch at Wacken. They didn't have any merchandise. So we sell a lot. we sold everything. It was great.
So what are the disadvantages for pay-to-play? You need a networking, because without networking, no chance to apply. And secondly, they are really high costs. So, for example, we saw bands that they worked for like 2 years to put money to have a tour, and they did it. As I said, there are a lot of pros, but you have to take into account the fact that it could be cost really, really expensive. And the third solution for from my opinion, is the best one. It's make international exchanges. It's exactly what we said for the national level, but this time it's internationally. We did it a lot with many bands. The principle how it works is really simple. Come to play with me in Romania, and I go to play with you in Poland or in Slovakia. And financially, how it works, it's simple. In the beginning, let's say, okay, you come to me, I will pay you a fee of 2,000 euros, it doesn't matter, and I go to play it, you will pay the same thing. It's stupid, because you only have a lot of transaction with costs and papers, etc. So how we are doing, usually, if a band, we are welcome a band in Romania, they will provide the cost to come here in Romania, and here we will cover for them the cost for the venue, accommodation, catering, food, etc. And we go back to them, it's the same thing. And I can tell you that it's a very good strategy because you have the similar impacts as for the festival or supporting acts for headliners. Only thing is focused on a specific country. But sometimes it's even better because even bands like, I don't know, for example, Offenland, we play with them in December with the European tour. They won't have the same audience in all countries. But playing, for example, with Litka Grubasa in Poland, we are pretty sure that each time you'll be at least 500, maybe 1,000 people. So it's really, really interesting. Why it's also interesting is lower cost. You don't have to pay to play. And I think maybe the most important advantage is the long-term collaboration because you become friends with these bands. So in time, you work together, and all these projects started with exchanges between these three bands. And after some years, now became something really more seriously. What is difficult in this strategy is finding similar bands from abroad. Finding, for example, okay, you are a band, let's say I can bring in average 200 people in my country. Let's find a band who have a similar level in other country. How you do that? It's quite complicated. It's a lot by chance, by opportunities. With Litka Grubasa, for example, for us, it started with Poland Rock, the organizer of Poland Rock here. They asked us, could you play a song from a Polish band? At Poland Rock, it would be a nice surprise for the audience. We say, let's try, let's see. And they send us a list of songs. And when we put play on Rapapara, I said, okay, this one is dancey, we can put some cymbalum on it, let's make it more gypsy, more Romanian, and let's do it. But when we tried to make lyrics in Romanian, it didn't work at all. So we asked Piotr and Bartek, it's possible to invite the guys from Litka Grubasa to play together the song? They invited, they was okay, and we played the song without rehearsals ever. We met on the stage, and the connection was directly. So this was 3 years ago, and now I think we played together at least 20 shows in Romania and Poland. So to imagine a bit how it works. And with Helenine Oci, it was also luck. They book, I think, Fanfare Ciocărlia for their festival, and I don't know why, but they canceled in the last moment. So with our booker in Slovakia, they took, there is a band, etc. And they invited us to play at Hellfest, Slovakian version. And after that, it's now 2 years, and we are still playing together. Okay. Not finished. Oh. I will just want, so examples, Dirty Shot and Litka Grubasa, exchange tour, we made it. Example, Dirty Shot and Helenine Oci with cross concerts in Slovakia, Czech Republic and Romania. We also did that with, for example, with French bands like Babylon Prison as a Grand Theft. We also did exchanges with Hungarian bands like Superbat, Insane, and Adriada. We made exchanges with Subterranean Masquerade from Israel, but only the first part of the exchange because the second part never happened. First it was COVID, then it was the war. So it will not be for the next year. And now about the last point, international independent tours. I think the first, if you want to make a tour internationally, first you have to prepare the events agenda. And when you want to go internationally, the costs are much higher than play at home. At home, you can have a weekend from Cluj to Bucharest, etc. It's easy. But if you want to go to France or UK, etc., the cost, the logistics are other level. So I think a good strategy is to find a central event or several central events as the base of the tour, something that will provide some money to cover this a part of your tour. It could be a festival. It could be a city where you have existing fan base or personal network. I will show some examples. You can be an opening act for a bigger band, or you can have a cultural exchange, but you need something to create a tour around it. And once you have the central event, you can start to look, for example, some criteria, logistic optimization. Of course, you won't have a concert in London, next day in Zurich, and next day in Warsaw. It's not possible. So you have to watch a bit what cities go well, and then you start to write to venues, to bands. Can you accept this, etc. And you can do it. We managed to make several international tours doing this strategy. Also, when you are searching for the places where to play, you can look to online statistics and diaspora. For example, when we played first time in London, it was because we had a lot of fans on Facebook, a lot of YouTube plays from London, and say, okay, there are people there who are listening to us, so let's do it. This is an example. Also, honestly, Romania diaspora it's everywhere, but we are looking, where are Romanians? Because the chances to have at least 50, 100 people, some Romanians heard about Dirty Shirt, are higher to play in cities where you have this diaspora present. What about days off? You cannot play every day. Sometimes it's really difficult. It happened to us to play in Vienna, after the show, go directly straight to Bremen without stop, just driving, etc. And sometimes it's good for your safety to take some days off. So always it's a trade-off between budget and security, or I don't know, to feel okay. Because a day off has the same cost. You are on the road, you have to sleep, you have to eat. So if you don't, sometimes it's better even to play for accommodation, etc. It's on your road. It happened for us. We had a concert here, a concert there, a day off between. We had the concert, okay, we will have only accommodation, the food, etc. So for us, it's less cost. So sometimes it's good to do that. And finally, also, if you are doing your own tour, you can search for local acts, find local bands to open, or even collaborate. It happened quite often for us. For the tour preparation, as usually, but for international tour, it's even more complicated. The route plan. First, you need to make your route plan, find transportation solution, which van, you need airplane tickets, you need to find accommodation before the tour. You cannot, the day, okay, let's search for something on booking. You need to everything prepared before. Sometimes you need visas and custom documents, especially, for example, after the Brexit, we had shows in UK, and it's crazy now with the key mint. You have to do documents, you have to pay a lot of money, and you will get it back only when you see after months, etc. Even in Moldova, it's the same. So if you are going outside EU, you need to consider there are visas and custom documents to make. And as usual, you prepare your budget, info sheets, riders, you send to everybody. You will need to promote the tour, we already presented this thing. Just something to say for tour promotion, I advise, if possible, to subcontract it for the PR. Okay, it's good to, your market in your home country, but if you want to play, for example, in France, you don't have contacts, you don't have press, you have nothing. And our experience with the PR agency in abroad are very, very good, and it helped us a lot to have audience abroad. So some examples. As I told you, for example, our tour in 2013, we were really small at that time. And our central event, it was in red, it was a Freiride Open Air in Germany. It was a small festival. We wrote them, they liked our music, and they booked us. So we already have like 1,000 euro or something like this. Okay, with this we can pay half of the transportation of the tour. It's good. Then we had other points that were important for us. It's in down, I don't know if you can see it in green. It's the southeast of France. There are bands like the Grand Zeft Babylon Pression. We made exchanges. So we said, okay, we played in Romania, now it's time to play in your country. So we said, okay, we have now Bremen here, we have down the south of France. Let's see how we can link all this. So this is a part with Lille, Paris, and Grenoble, which is based a lot of personal network. In Liège, Christy was a student for a year, so had a lot of friends. I lived, I was a student in Lille and I lived there for 7 years. So I have a network. Now I live in Grenoble. I have networks. So it's quite easy. It's like playing at home. You are pretty sure that you will have like 70, 100 people, 150. So it's working. So this was an example of tour. Another example is the European tour in 2018. First, the tour was constructed around the fact that we had the opportunity to open for Offenland 4 shows. In Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic, I think. So this was the central part of the tour. Then we had an opportunity to open for Percival Schattenbach. It's a Polish band, very known. I don't remember how it happened, but okay, it was really in the middle. It was perfect. They accepted us. We had a small fee. It was great. And then was 4 local events. 2 of them organized by ourselves. We talked with the venue, they accepted us, and they proposed us some local bands to open, and it was okay, because the local band brings some people, we bring some people, and together it was a nice show. And also there were 2 shows when we effectively entered like this, where the band, for example, had a release in Czech Republic, in Brno, and in Łódź, in Poland, it was a local event with local bands, as I told you about the collective. And do you want another band there? Yes, of course. And like this, we had the entire tour. And the last example, the European Electrodrome Tour, this is a bigger one. And in that case, we didn't make just one tour with everything. We had kind of blocks. First block is UK. Everything was constructed around a festival in O2 Arena. It's one of the biggest venues in the UK. And we had the luck to play in this festival. So around the festival, we were searching for other events. And naturally, it was London. We never played before. We saw that the online statistics said, okay, let's play London because it could work. And we played Royal London. And after that, the same year, we had 3 or 4 shows in London because it worked really, really well. It was sold out in a small venue, but it was sold out in London, our first concert. And then we added a little show in Trillions because we were already there. So why not? Then it was another tour organized in Germany by our booking agency at that time in Germany. And they organized everything, and why they did that, because it wasn't the most profitable tour in our life, but it was interesting to apply it after that to the festivals, because at least in Germany, the festivals like Wacken, Don't Go Open Air or Reload, they are watching if you're touring in that country. And if you don't tour in that country, the chances to be booked are really, really small. So we made the tour, and then they sent our application for this big festival, and it worked. Another part of the tour, it was focused on France, and this time we had the chance to have grants from France and Romania because it was Saison Culturelle Roumaine. Every year in France, there is a country that French government is helping for a cultural exchange. So we had some money to do this. So we made with the orchestra, and it was for me one of the best tours that we had because everything was really perfect. We started as a central event, Snowfest. Probably the Romanian people know it. It's a Romanian festival of skiing and music in the Alps. So we had a big festival with a good fee to start the tour. And everything were linked really well because we had an opportunity to open for a very known French band, kind of, I don't know, punk with folklore from there, or something like this. And it was in a big venue, sold out. It was great. And then after that, something that we are doing quite often, it's coming back in the same cities. Because, okay, you played once. 2 years later, it's better to come back in the same city because there are people who already saw you. And if your show, it was great, if they are pleased with your performance, they will come back and they will make publicity for you here. They will come back with their friends, with their family. So for us, it was, once again, in France, always we are playing in Grenoble, Paris, Lille, for example. These cities are coming back and back. And that's it. Now we finished this part. If you have remarks and questions, online or here. Do you have, for the mic like this, the audience?
Hi. So, first of all, you're releasing a new album and you're preparing to tour. First of all, nationally. How I'm gonna promote my album throughout the tour? And that's the question.
I think something changed a little bit in the music industry because before, you made a tour to promote a release. Nowadays, you make a release to promote a tour. It's something really opposite. So, but making a tour without a release behind, it's very, very difficult. Even the big bands, they are touring after doing a new album or a new video, etc.
So you're saying it's very hard to do a tour without any background?
An example, we played at Don't Go Open Air in Germany in 2022. And I wrote the guys next year, could we play again? No. Could we play again? And they told me clearly, if you don't have something new, you cannot play again here. You need a new album or a new EP or at least several songs. With the same set list, we won't invite you again. You have to bring some new content.
Thank you.
But then we made a great show in Essen in Germany last year, and we are back.
So this is really important, the thing, as I said, to play also in the small venue, because once again, they said, okay, you have only one single, not a full album. And I told, okay, but last time we was the first band on the show, in the festival. We had success, it was crazy, but I said, okay, but we need something more. And we had just played in Essen in December, and it was really, really, really good show. And the guys saw that and said, okay, let's do it. And it was nice to see that when they announced us with other big bands, we had more comments, there is Dirty Shirt than the other big bands. And they were, okay, it's nice.
You know, it's like when you are touring for the first time, you may go touring without any unique ability. But if you are touring for the second time, something new must be. Because if you are touring without anything new, it's just like wanting, you want people to go to the same movie for the second time. And there are times like this, because there are, of course, bands that have a legendary status, and their friends will go always to this band, no matter what does it play. But it's really good to, you know, to accent that that is something new, that is something unique. It's a new record, it's a new single, it's a new album, it's an anniversary, because people will more joyfully come to the same band more than once in 2 years.
Okay. So we will pass to the second part. I think that the timing is completely, it takes much more time than we expected. Probably the last presentation, last topic with running ads, I won't do it because we will have the presentation online. It's like a tutorial, so don't need to do this. Like this, we can win like 30 minutes. We will see it. And now we pass to the second part, band management. And there we have 7 presentations. From legal framework and merchandising management by Robbie and the Hippies. I will present a little bit the key actors in the music industry because it's a really complex ecosystem. And also some words about funding opportunities. We will have Sorin here, we will present the Creative Europe program, which is a really interesting program for the bands who wants to go international. Ramona, who will present a little bit the problems of ticketing and ticketing-related actions. And Christy, who will present music as a catalyst for social change. So I invite Robbie and Bartek. Not Bartek.
Okay, if you're not bored already, no, you're going to be. Because I'm going to talk about the legal stuff. So, legal framework. For a band to function and to function properly, you have to treat it just like a business. Is very important. So this is why we opted to found 2 different entities. One is Cultural Association, and I think 2 years ago we did an LLC also. This is a SRL called SRL in Romanian. Both of them are okay to be legal with your band, but I think it's the Cultural Association is better. You have more opportunities. Both have advantages and disadvantages. So let's see a little bit about this. The Cultural Association is ideal for obtaining donations, crowdfundings, 3.5% of any employee's fee. This is in Romania. To obtain cultural projects, to fund all of this. EERA is done also with foundation with Nelus, our managers association. Being a non-profit organization, you pay taxes only if you exceed a certain amount of money. If I know, I have the good information, is somewhere around 60,000 euros per year. After that, you have to pay the value-added taxes, just like at the Serele. So, and you can have the possibility to have volunteers for to help you with the activities of your association. These are the advantages for a cultural association. The disadvantages are not so many. You need a minimum, just a moment, minimum 3 persons to set up the fund and cultural association. If you want to do a cultural association, I recommend to talk with a lawyer. Is pretty hard to do it in Romania, for example, and I think it's 1 or 2 months after you you do all the paperwork to have the association. And I don't know, hippies. You said it that it's very easy to do the paperwork with the association. It's horrible.
No, it's terribly horrible because it's a full accounting. It's not easy. You must have a professional bookkeeper because running association as good as a company that it's suitable for 5 or more people. It's not joking because the simple company you can run the easy accountants and one person can do it. For example, I am a bookkeeper of our band and it's not such complicated as it appears. I guess it takes me 1 or 2 days per month to completely run of it. But in association it's terribly complicated and you must put every dot in its place. Every paper, every invoice must be signed correctly, put a stamp on it, give it to the accountants. Every transfer that is coming from an account must be signed and officially accepted by bookkeepers. So it's terrible. But of course, if you are running association, it's a lot easier to get a grant, to get some money from ministry, to apply for any donations, etc. So if you are after the really big things, sooner or later it might appear obligatory.
Okay, the second one is the LLC. It has some advantages. We opted to do this because it's ideal for purchasing. Just a moment. Okay, I really love Sheldon Cooper. It's ideal to for purchasing instruments, merchandise, and just about anything in the European Union, because value-added tax is not charged. So if you want to do some merchandise in Poland, for example, you don't have to pay the value-added tax. So expenses are much lower. You want to buy an instrument or you want to buy anything else, it's without VAT, so it's good. And you have the possibility to make profit and pay dividends, to earn some money from the LLC. Okay, the disadvantages for the LLC, you changed, okay, or the double taxation. The LLC is subject to both corporation tax, that's around 60%, and dividend tax, which can lead to double taxation again. The use of money. The LLC's income is not the partner's money. This is often mistaken. The profit can only be taken out at the end of a financial year to dividends after you pay taxes again. Just to make sure that you understand, the LLC money is not your own money. This is not really good. The third one is to be self-employed, or PFA in Romanian. The guys from Dirty Shirt, I think Bila has a PFA and Christy also. And Vio.
In Poland it's called jednoosobowa działalność gospodarcza.
Oh, gospodarcza.
JDJ.
So there are some advantages. It's pretty easy to set up. You need, I think, 3 days and it's all done. Very easy bookkeeping, what Hippies already said. And the money earned as a net income can be spent by the holder without limitations or need for justification. So the money you earn, they are your money. You don't have to explain how you're spending it.
Yes, but in the other way, the old possessions you have are also being responsible for your actions. So if you make a great debt having this sort of company, you will pay with your own house, car, or something like this. Of course, it takes a lot of, it takes a lot to make some debts like this, because it's not so easy to be ruined by running a band, but it's always a possibility.
So the disadvantages for the self-employment: proof of the applicant's professional training or professional experience in the field of activity must be provided by supporting documents, diplomas, certificates, etc. Only the Cayenne codes that concern the activity which the PFA's authorization is sold can be chosen. What you already said, in case of deaths of the PFA, the individual will be liable, and in order to pay it, he may even sacrifice his personal assets. That's not good. And the limited possibilities for business development. This is all for the self-employment.
Yep.
If you have something to add.
Yes, I would add something, because the most important thing for every band that is emerging is that sooner or later every musician who wants to earn money will be placed in the fact of that he must make it legit. So it is something that it's scary, and it's something that always is holding musicians back, because it seems to be so tough. Oh, God damn it, I am amateur playing a guitar, and now I must found a company, self-employ, and became, the pro musician with the company. God damn it, is it hard. And of course, there are disadvantages, like, you have to pay social security, etc., which in Poland is really high. It's around 600 euros per month, just when you're having company and have not income at all. You must pay it always. But if you want to have some privileges, you must make yourself legit. If you want to earn money, you must make yourself legit. If you want to sell merchandise, you must make yourself legit. If you want to sell tickets online, there's no other way. You must make yourself legit. So it's a big step for every musician. Of course, you can found someone who has already a company, make a partner of him, etc. There's a lot of possibilities. But sooner or later, you will face the fact that you must become legit, because it's no longer possible to make yourself underground, to work in the black market. Perhaps if you're selling 2 t-shirts monthly, it is possible. When you are selling 200 or 300, it's no longer possible. And especially if you want to sell tickets online, because now 90% of tickets are being sold online. On the gates for a cash, it's only few tickets. So if you want to run this, you must make something with company, with self-employment, etc., because it's unavoidable.
And also for the first fees, if you play for a fee in a festival or for a promoter,
yeah, everyone wants a contract.
You will need a contract and an invoice. Nobody will give you the money like this. Could be something like author rights, etc., but it's not very legal. It's complicated. So sooner or later, you will need a legal framework. That's sure.
But I always will say, anyone, do not be afraid of it. It is not as hard as it seems, because if someone, I don't know, is a student or working in its first employment, it always thinks, running company is such a hard thing. How can I do it? It's real a lot easier than it seems. There are online system that takes care of bookkeeping. They are not expensive and very easy to handle. And if you have some income, it is always the way to do it. So be brave and do it.
Okay, so thank you for this presentation. It was short.
Everybody.
Do you have questions about the legal framework, online or here? There are some online questions about
No.
it? Okay. So I let the same two speakers. The second point they will talk about is the merchandising management and distribution.
Okay, I will start. So it's very important to have a band merchandise. I think everybody it has the same opinion than like me. So having band merchandise comes with several advantages, whether you're an independent artist or a well-established band. So, one, additional revenue stream. Merch sales can be a major source of income, especially for smaller or independent bands who may not make so much money from streaming or tickets. Brand awareness and promotion. Wearing a band's merch, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, turn fans into walking advertisements, spreading awareness in new potential listeners. Strengthens fans' loyalty. Merch creates a deeper connection between fans and band. You have to have a unique, it gives you a unique identity and image. A well-designed merch line helps establish a band's aesthetic identity, making them more recognizable, enhances live shows, it helps you. Having a merch table at gigs, festivals, adds to the overall experience, giving fans something physical to take home. Everybody wants to take home something from the band. You buy something, okay, you have something to add, I see you, no? You buy a t-shirt, you go to the band members to sign it, and you take it home. Limited edition and collectability, exclusive or limited run merchandise can create demand, encouraging fans to buy quickly and increasing value over time. And it can give you social media engagement, fans posting pictures in your merch on social media, provides free marketing and strengthens online presence. While having band merchandise has many advantages, there are also some disadvantages to consider. You changed it, okay. One is the upfront costs. Producing merch, printing t-shirts, making CDs or vinyls requires an initial investment, which can be risky if sales are low. In order to earn some money, you have to spend money. This is what I'm saying. Usually, if you have a band and you're an emerging band, prepare yourself to spend money. It's the first thing that you're going to do. Like any business. There are people in the crowd that are having their own businesses? No? Nobody? Because bands, I saw some guys from some bands, so prepare yourself, guys. Good. There are some storage and inventory issues also. Keeping track of sizes, colors, and stock levels can be a hassle, especially for small bands without much storage space. For the moment, our merchandise is stored in Rini's garage and at my workplace. This is how we handle things. So prepare yourself for this also, guys. Unsold inventory, if merch doesn't sell as expected, you could be left without with unsold stock, leading to financial losses. There are some logistic and shipping issues also. Selling online means handling packaging, shipping costs, and potential delivery problems. And also the quality control. Poorly made merch can disappoint fans and hurt your reputation. Choosing the right manufacturers and materials is crucial for you. Okay. To get the most out of the Dirty Shirt merch, we opted for 3 sales channels, and we are not outsourcing our merch. We are dealing with the sales. So the most important one is the band merchandise stand. You can see it in the picture. We didn't have a stand at this festival, and we improvised one in the back of our van. But everybody's happy there, so it's working. Okay. We also have our own online web shop. It's called dirtymerch.com. I could give you some recommendations here because I'm handling it. If you want to do your own web shop, I would recommend to use an e-commerce platform. It's the most effective. It doesn't cost 10,000 euros or something like this. It's only 7 or 8 euros per month. I would recommend GoMag, if you all know. This is an e-commerce platform. They have everything incorporated. It's very easy to use, and you can do it by yourself. Okay, we also sell our merch on Bandcamp. This is a platform, also a platform for emerging bands. We have our T-shirts, and I think now Mihai handles it.
We stopped the T-shirts on Bandcamp and merchandising because it was quite complicated to manage 2 web shops, one our official and the Bandcamp. So we kept the Bandcamp only for the music, but for 10 years or something like this, we sold the merch only on Bandcamp.
Okay, I would have some recommendations for having a healthy merch. It's very important to have diversity. Merch doesn't just mean a T-shirt or a CD. It matters a lot to create a shopping experience for your fans. The greater the diversity is, the higher the chances of sales are. That's why we have chosen to do items that cost from 2 euros to items that cost 50 or 60 euros, like vinyls, baseball jackets, hoodies, or something like this. Very important to have a good design. It's more than important to have a unique design, something that differentiates you from other bands. Plus, you have to try to produce items that are fashionable, something that a fan would wear at work or, for example, in his free time. We usually work with 2 or 3 designers. We can mention Costin Chioriano. If you know him, he's very good. He works with bands like Opeth, Arch Enemy. I think he does designs also for Sergio's band. Yeah. We also work with Leah, who made the design, I think, for EERA, no? Okay. And
Can I say
my
one
God,
thing?
I almost forgot. Yeah, and with our guitar player, Christy, he did the logo for Dirty Shirt. Applauses for him. Sorry, Christy.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
It is, very often the amateur band or semi-pro band who wants to have a merchandise selling during the concerts thinks that T-shirts are expensive, because if you are producing the colorful T-shirt with unique design, it may cost around, I don't know, 10 or 15 euros in production. So you must sell it for a lot amount of money. So they think we will make the plain old T-shirt with the small logo of the band right here, and it will be less expensive, so we can sell it cheaper. And I must say, from my experience, it is the wrong way. Don't do it. Don't do that, because people want to wear nice stuff that is actually attractive. You can take this shirt not to only your concert, but to something else, to the festival, to your girlfriend, to, I don't know, anniversary at your aunt's birthday. So it's good to have really nice design, even if it means that you are selling it for large amount of money and you have the less profit. Make your merchandise really attractive for the people to wear, so they want to wear it at any occasion. On any occasion, sorry.
And as Robbie said, the diversity is really important for the merchandising, and only focusing on expensive merchandising is not good strategy. Also, the small things could be really interesting because, for example, a hoodie, your cost is like 40 euros, and you can maximum sell with 50 euros. So we'll have like 20% your profit on this. And also you will need to put a lot of money before selling. So you will need maybe 1 year to get back the money back. But small things like a bracelet, I don't know, a guitar pick, etc., it costs nothing, like 20 cents, 50 cents. You sell it like 1, 2 euros, but the profit is 4 times, something like this. So this part, and also the selling is easier because not everyone has 50 euros to buy a hoodie or a vinyl, but you know, a guitar pick as a pick as a souvenir, I think a lot of people can buy this. So you can have very good sales with the small things.
And do not do in rock and roll music the souvenirs like, I don't know, a mug with a picture of a band on it. At least it's so cringy that it's attractive. This is the other way.
Okay, it's very important to have quality items. Never compromise on quality. It's a huge mistake to do bad stuff. You don't want to disappoint your fans because of this. Use brands that are known for quality. We usually use BNC, we use Gildan, we use Fruit of the Loom, we use TJs for t-shirts, usually quality stuff. Okay, you can do collaborations. Try to make collaborations with other brands. I'm not like talking about Korn and Adidas or something like this, but maybe you have a, I don't know, a craft brewery in your town, and you can do a beer or something like this. We did this with 2 breweries. One was from Oradea called Bersnova, and the other one that we made last year was a collaboration. I think is the best beer, best crafted beer in Romania, called Zagano. Okay, hippies, if you have something
this is my part, because I can tell how it works from our perspective as Witka, because, you know, we are a comedy band, so the merchandise plays a great role at our department. Disadvantages of dealing with Merck, already Robbie said about it. We always had a trouble with sizes stock, because we are selling a lot of XL and L t-shirts, and later you are in lack of it. But you are supplied enormously with S-size t-shirts. So this is the disadvantage. Payments always are coming in the worst moments. You don't have money, you are broke, and then the invoice come, pay for the t-shirts that you ordered, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. The long-term production, because if you are ordering t-shirts from the free hand on the free market, it always takes a time if you are not dealing with only one supplier. As you are on tour, who will take care of orders? I don't know, you are touring from October to December, and the orders come, you are at home for only 2 days in a week. Who will send it? Who will, you know, reply the emails, changes, etc. You are always left with a lot of less popular stuff. You always want more popular stuff that is selling the best. And of course, it's endless investment. So you buy more t-shirts to sell more t-shirts. Half of its sales, the rest is to you. So you must buy another order, etc. But we figure out how to deal with it, because in Poland, there's a Carton Merchandising. It's a producer who is making T-shirts for, I don't know, 30 or 40% of the independent rock bands in Poland. He called us and said, come on, guys, I have a partnership for you. It's very easy. It doesn't exceed you at any point. You can deal with the T-shirts in a lot more easier way. So, it's like this. We, as a band, we own all the designs. We have absolute freedom of designing. We can make any design of the T-shirts we want. We buy shirts from Carton Merchandising, but he gives us a great discount. We sell it on gigs. We also sell it online. We have no worries about stock because the guy is also selling through its own channels. So there are always T-shirts in any sizes we want. So we call the guy 2 days before the show and we say, come on, Carton, send us S, XS, and L T-shirts because we are in a lack of it. It's a light speed production because the guy has its own sewing factory. So if we need the T-shirts, he runs it in 2 days, 3 days, and it's right at the place. And of course, we have a full control of quality because the guy is right on the place in Poland. Carton has exclusive because we are not making T-shirts in any other company. He's a producer of shirts. He has its own shirts, not, bringing it from China or Bangladesh. Runs large online store where he sells, 200 other bands. Sells it also on large festivals. So if we are going to the festival, we are not taking merchandise because he sells it there. Carton keeps profits of his income. So if he is selling these T-shirts online on festivals, his income is his profit. Gives us bonus for the whole production. No matter how much T-shirts we will order and no matter how much shirts he will produce, it's always the same percent for us to get return at the end of the year. And of course, he earns of profit and has our band in his portfolio, so the large guy can do more. It's absolutely profitable for both sides, but we are still independent. So, as a Witka, we have less worries, more time to focus on playing, on touring. We have a national distribution because the guy sells the T-shirts widely all across the country. We have less trouble with RODO, how to say it, the personal data, because if you are running the online store, you must be legit in taking personal data from people.
Yeah, GDPR.
Exactly. We are still fully independent. We can end the deal whenever we want. We had great sale outcome because usually we are selling 10 shirts on a gig, and now we're having 15, 60, 80. The great outcome came, and life is a lot easier, which I guess is most important because you can enjoy it, not to worry about other things. So I mostly admit that this sort of cooperation with the third-party contractor is very good, as long as you are not tied to him for life. So it is okay cooperation.
It's a good idea for a business for someone in Romania, for example. But we prefer to not outsource our merchandise. We are very strict on this. I would recommend to you to do this for in the beginning. Okay, when you are a huge band, you can do this, and you are pretty huge in Poland. So
this was their presentation. Do you have questions about the merchandising here or online?
Kalin Jordake, is there a way to sell merch as a cultural association? Yes, it's a way. We are already doing it. It's legal. It's everything right. So you can do it.
It depends if the assignment could be profitable, because I guess it's not.
No.
Yes. It depends in each country. In Romania, if you have commercial profit at the end of the year, you will pay the taxes for this profit as a company, and that's it.
In Poland, if you have a social assignment, you cannot profit at all. Everything must be spent on, the targets meant at the beginning.
There are other questions here or online? Okay. So I propose to take a break a little bit earlier because it's not earlier in time but in the schedule. So it's 3:30 in Romania. Let's take a break of 20 minutes and see you in 10 to 4 in Romania, 10 to 3 Central European time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ale.